Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, something exciting happened for ESO. We do get a new class after 4 long years. The last class we actually got was a Necromancer, and that was 4 years ago. Quite insane. So the new one is called the Arcanist. I set up an article on alcasthq.com. I will put the link in the description. You can check out, I put the screenshots and images from the class, what we got from the stream in here. I will of course also work on all sorts of builds for the Arcanist class once we get our hands on. These here are mostly just like in preparation of once we get our hands on the class. On ESO Hub we also are going to cover all of the new chapter. The new chapter is called Necrom. There's also 2 new companions and a lot of other content. So let's actually check out the footage of the new Arcanist class. I won't really talk much, so you actually can just see what's going on, and then we will take a look, or I will put my comments afterwards.
Arcanist is a new way to play and experience ESO. It's the 7th playable class and channels the power of Apocrypha to create ancient runes of power. This weird knowledge lets them do some truly fantastic things, destroying their enemies with runic magic, summoning tentacles from the abyss, healing their allies, and some even protecting themselves from the worst the Daedric Plains have to offer.
Of course, what everyone really wants to know is, how do you play the Arcanist? And we've got just the person to tell us.
With the Arcanist, we wanted to keep the basic form of the class familiar to everyone so there's something for all play styles, while letting us be more creative with the abilities themselves. We started off with 3 skill lines: Herald of the Tome, Apocryphal Soldier, and Curative Rune Forms. Each line focuses on a different aspect of the game: offense, defense, and support. The challenge we embraced was making these abilities feel unique compared to previous classes, but not so systematically different that veteran players would feel out of place. I know several of the abilities will leave you awestruck. 2 of my favorite new abilities are Apocryphal Gate and Abyssal Impact. Apocryphal Gate lets you open a pair of temporary portals that you can jump between for extra in-fight mobility, or use these portals for creative exploration. Abyssal Impact is a bit more direct. It has you infuse your arm with unstable magic, transforming it into a tentacular weapon as you thrust forward, damaging and debilitating your foes. I'm also super excited to share that we're doing something very different for the Arcanist, implementing a combo point system. In this system, certain abilities will build points, while others will spend them, giving them an extra bit of oomph by enhancing or augmenting the ability. We're aiming for this to be something that all players can easily get a handle on, so no one should worry that this class will be too technical to play. I can't let too much out of the bag yet though, so the rest will have to be a secret for now. We were initially coming up with the Arcanist, we had a ton of ideas and inspiration coming from all sorts of places: movies, comics, classic literature, and both retro and modern games. There was even a handful of anime references. And while we had a lot of great ideas, there was one that led us to a major breakthrough and helped bind everything together: the Black Books of Hermaeus Mora. Now, while this gave us a solid feel for how the abilities should look and sound, you won't necessarily be wielding one of the Black Books. Instead, you'll summon your own tome, in which you've inscribed numerous bits of ancient knowledge that you've gleaned from the Prince of Fate. Think of it like your own cookbook you glance at every so often to spice up your spells. This won't be the only taste of the Arcanist you'll get, though. You'll also come across foes, and maybe a friend, who will wield the same deep magics that you'll learn. There may even be some unforeseen enemies that have tomes worth of forbidden arcane power to throw at you. This is just the first page of the story of this new class.
I think that's all the footage we get to see. So I do actually think the class does look cool when we look at some of the images. I do like the green look, so they sort of nailed it in that regards. The book looks cool too. And the portal skill is definitely gonna be interesting. I'm not sure if it's gonna be randomly placed somewhere on the map, or whether you actually can control it. So sort of like Streak, but with a portal, kinda. It's definitely gonna be wonky though in certain situations. But that is actually gonna be one of my favorite ones. I can feel it already. Some armor, protection skill, I guess. Then the tentacles. I feel like this one is going to be Stonefist 2.0. It looks like they want it to be the spammable, but the range, it looks like it's not gonna be very far, so it's gonna suck. Like the range should be 28 meters, but it doesn't look like it's going that far, but we will see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just a sort of a melee skill. And yeah, these here are like the free skill lines that the class has, I guess. DPS, healer, and the tank skill line, sort of. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be an actual weapon skin or if it's actually the skill that does this. That would actually be really cool, honestly. The glow. I do really like the green glow stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This is only like a preview. Now, of course, we first get the Q1 DLC, which will launch. I think PTS will come next week. And then it will launch towards the end of February, start of March. And the chapter PTS, where we get our hands on the Arcanist, will launch sometimes, what was it? April? No, probably sometime in May or April, something like that. End of May, end of April, start of May, sometime then. So it's still quite a long wait, but I do like ESO really needed a new class. It's pretty much the only thing that gets me hyped these days. Last year, Tales of Tribute, while the card game was great, it should not have been the main feature, right? Like, even a new skill line would have been better on top and like with the Tales of Tribute thing, but not just a card game. So I actually really do appreciate that we finally get a new class. It's time. There should be one every 2 years, to be honest. I just feel like if there are not new classes, the population slowly goes down. Like, it doesn't have a huge impact, but it also really doesn't go up. And I feel like new classes breathe some new life into ESO. This is good. Let me know in the comment section below what you actually think about this. Thanks for watching and have a nice day. Cheers.